Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Bowman here, and we are continuing our playthrough of Planescape Torment, and we're here to talk to some dustmen today. You see a somber, pale-faced dustman in black robes. He doesn't appear to notice you. He turns slowly to face you. Yes? He folds his arms into his robes and waits. Do you know where I can find someone named Farad?
My journal.
Farad is collector. The man studies you for a moment. If you would wish to know more of him, I am told that Initiate Amorik in the Gathering Dustbar also seeks him. It may be that he can help you. Before you is a young dustman with stubble on his chin and dark circles beneath his eyes. He is staring at the wall with a somber expression. Greetings. The dustman doesn't look up. He stares straight ahead as if he is seeing something several leagues beyond the walls of the bar. Can I ask you some questions? The dustman doesn't respond. He keeps staring into the distance. Alrighty then, Morty hesitates. Let's go, Chief. This dusty might as well be fertilizer. Fair enough, let's get out of here. As you turn to leave, the dustman suddenly speaks, his voice barely a murmur. You have to strain to hear the words. You think he said something about wanting to die. What did you say? The boy's expression does not flicker. Do you want to die? No. Do you? Yes. Why do you want to live? There are certain questions I need answered about my life before I'm willing to surrender it. I want to find out who I am. The dustman listens silently. After you speak, he does not respond, merely watches you. He looks like he is thinking. Do you want to die? Is that why you asked? Yes. Why do you want to die? This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade any longer. His face wrinkles in disgust. Why would anyone want to remain in this foul city in the center of a multiverse that feeds on pain and hatred? Death is silent, comforting. Surely living cannot be as bad as you make it out to be. This is living? He bars his teeth and his hands clench. This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade any longer. Trust me, it's not. The boy seems irritated by the comment. And how do you know? I just do. Call it a hunch. The dustman scoffs, hardly convincing. I've seen what lies beyond death. The boy stares at you. You are speaking truthfully. He looks at you in amazement. What is there? What did you see? Truth. I lay on an island adrift upon an ocean of great darkness. The island was formed of shadowed stones, but the stones were not stones, for they murmured and whispered to me in a speech I cannot understand. There is no silence there, no comfort, and the chill burrows beneath the flesh and sinks into the bone. There is no difference. He looks down at the floor and chews his lips with a strange expression. Beyond the shadow of this existence, more misery awaits. There is no oblivion, no cleansing, nothing changes. The planes rotate, nothing ever changes. Except you. You can still change. Nay, I have tried, repetitively. If you believe that, then it will be true. Is it more than belief? It is reality. His gaze turns dark. Have you seen this city? It rots, and everything within it rots with it. There is no hope, nothing to strive for. Everything is stained with darkness and shadow. What about your beliefs as a dustman? Isn't that a worthy goal enough? He nods. The dustman philosophy is a worthy goal, else I would not have become a dustman. Then heed this. You are too eager to reach oblivion. According to the tenets of the dustman, that our very eagerness to reach the true death will keep you forever from it. You sound like one of the factors. They never cease lecturing me. They are correct to do so. They have only your wish to die at heart. If you wish to reach the true death, you must come to terms with this life first, no matter how painful it seems to you. It is an opportunity, and you are still young. Perhaps seeing more of this life will calm your eagerness for death. But how? How should I deal with it? Simply try to live as best you can. Use this life, no matter how painful, as an opportunity. You are young. Perhaps seeing more of this life will kill your eagerness for death. The boy falls silent, thinking. Eventually he turns back up to you. Your words carry weight, sir, and a fresh perspective. I will do as you have said. That is all I ask. Live, grow old, and learn. Farewell. You see a spindle-thin dustman in dirty black robes. His stiff black hair springs forth from his skull like a crown of spikes, and his lisper white skin is drawn sharply across his skull. He is frowning into his drink and mumbling to himself. Greetings. The dustman looks up, blinks once, then looks you up and down, studying you. As he studies you, he takes one of his spiked locks and points at himself with it. Neurochi, initiate dustman guard. I'm here about the posting outside. The dustman looks you up and down. Many troubles have I. Help can you? A mausoleum awakes. The dead walk, the dead disturbed, the dustman disturbed. Find out what disturbs the undead. The copper coins will I pay. Very well. Where is this mausoleum?
Updated my journal.
Mausoleum by Dust Memorial. Go north and west from Black Monument. Go to arch and semicircle over your heart with his finger this make. He wiggles his index finger on his right hand. To the mausoleum go you will. I'll look into it then. Farewell. Oh, I think this is it. This spectral figure materializes from the gloom of the passageway ahead and quickly moves to block your path. It floats before you, its once human features twisted in a mask of rage. Defilers, leave this place at once. Leave now, its booming voice echoes down the halls. This place is forbidden to the living. Leave while you still can. I have some questions first. Seek your answers elsewhere. This place is a sanctuary for the dead. I shall not permit their slumber to be disturbed by the intrusion of yet another insolent mortal. Another? Has someone else been here? If you must know, yes, there's another intruder who even now continues to violate the sanctity of the hallowed halls. The anger in the spirit's voice fades. He seems somewhat saddened by the admission. The souls of my brothers and sisters cry out for peace. Who is this other intruder? He is an evil coward who wields great power over the dead. He seeks something within these halls. What it might be or what his purpose is in the seeking, I cannot say. Why don't you drive this intruder away? I cannot. The coward has sealed himself within the inner chamber of the mausoleum. He has erected powerful wards that bar my entrance into the chamber. It is from there that he calls upon his dark arts to awaken my brethren and bends them to his evil will. Perhaps I may be of assistance to you. The spirit remains silent for several long moments. You can almost feel the weight of his lifeless gaze upon you. Yes, you might prevail where I have failed. If you will pledge to rid me of this blackguard, I shall grant you passage. What say you? I'll do it.
Updated my journal.
So be it. The spirit slowly begins to fade until only the echoing of its disassembled voice remains. But take heed, tread lightly in these halls, lest you join the others in eternal rest.
Word, Chief. Did you see that? What's up? Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah?
Die. Damn. I have to wake up from the dead in a place like this.
Huh? Did you see that?
must be hallucinating all this.
Good as done.
One foot in the grave, the other in hell.
Damn it.
Oh.
What's up, Chief? Did you see that?
I'm hurt.
Okay.
I want him gone.
Sure, why not?
Pretty hurt. Let's see.
What's up?
Maybe we just send Morty and see what happens.
Damn it.
Nice.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Sure, why not? Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Did you see that?
Come on, Morty.
see that? See that? Jaw is hanging on by a thread. Would you give me a hand here? Did you see that? Did you see that? Damn it.
Inner chamber. Let's see. Wonder.
Yeah?
Wonder if he can rest here. Or at least bandage up real quick. Alright. Let's give it a go. You see a mid-sized man in long robes of deep black. His hair is neatly confined, and an impeccably trimmed goatee complements his handsome features. Noticing your arrival, he puts down the book he was writing in and strides confidently over to you, smiling. Impressive, I must admit. I never thought you would make it this far. I'm glad to have disappointed you. Are you the one responsible for all the Walking Dead? Who I am is no consequence to you. What I want is the question that should concern you most. As he speaks, he looks you up and down as if somehow fascinated by you. Very well, what do you want? He takes a step back and cocks his eyebrow. I want your blood. Is that some kind of threat? The man starts to answer, but stops himself abruptly. An evil smile spreads across his face, and he begins to laugh. Yes, I suppose it is. He continues to laugh even harder at his own private joke. You notice that his hands have begun to move at his sides. Slowly they fit back and forth, tracing intricate patterns in the air.
Sure, why not?
I'm hurt. stronger.
Sure, why not? What? Good is done.
Is that it? As you step into the corridor, the guardian spirit materializes before you. Its ghostly countenance regards you benevolently. I thank you. You have done me a great service. The spirits of my charge sleep quietly once again. Go in peace, friend. The apparition fades away, leaving you alone in the deserted halls of the mausoleum.
Updated my journal.
Nice. Ah, he frowns as you approach, clicking his tongue. You again. Have you come to make me surrender more contracts in the name of the Dustman faction? He frowns and sighs. Well, no matter. Past, he regains his old smile and nods at you. Oh, wrong guy. Oh, this guy. You see Narachi. He is pulling out one of the spikes of hair and using it to scratch a spot in his face. You can't help but think he'd look a lot better with dreadlocks. I found out what was going on in the mausoleum. The dead sleeps again.
Updated my journal.
His lines of worry smooth out as you speak. Thanks, give I. He reaches into his robes and draws forth a small bag, which he hands to you. Copper coin, 100. Thanks, glad I could help. Farewell. Let's see. Before you is a tall, silent figure. He could easily pass for a statue, although the deep furrows in his face and brow make you wonder if the sculptor was a little too eager in defining the face with the chisel. He looks well over 50 years old, but exactly how much over 50 it's hard to tell. As he slowly turns to look at you, you catch the dull sheen of copper in his eyes. Greetings. Old Copper Eye stares at you. His eyes are difficult to make out past the black well of his eye sockets, but they look to have a copper sheen about them. I have some questions. He says nothing. You see a heavy-set man with dark skin and grim features. He is dressed in dustman robes and is regarding you with a stony gaze. Greetings. You have the look of a lost one. The man's voice is like stone settling. Did the wind send you, or were you here with purpose? Who are you? I'm a Mork, Factorium, an initiate of the Fourth Circle. Is this your bar? If you measure ownership in copper, this is not my establishment. If you measure ownership in spirit, it is mine. He pauses, as if trying to emphasize a point. The dustmen here are my students. They are under my protection. Can I ask some questions? I've come here in search of a journal. These eyes have seen no journal. Perhaps your search will take you elsewhere. I'm searching for a man named Farad. Have you seen him? I would know why you seek the collector Farad. Why, is there something wrong? The Collector Farad has brought many corpses to the mortuary of late. One must ask where these bodies are from. Tell me more about the bodies. Some are recent dead. They still have their last moments in their eyes. Many more bodies are centuries dead. The dust of ages lies upon their bones. One must ask where these bodies are from. Perhaps I could find out where these bodies are from. How would you do such a thing? I would track Farad and ask him. If you spoke with the Collector Farad and returned with his answers, you will have done a great service for the Dustman. Find where the dead he brings to us are from, and you will be rewarded. Very well, I will find Farad, speak to him, and find out where these dead bodies he brings you are from. He nods. Your path is our path. Return here when you have the Collector Farad's answers. Can you tell me where he is? It is not known to me where the Collector Farad is. He hides from the eyes of the Dustman. I would seek other collectors and ask them for your question. I'll see what I can do then. Farewell.
All right.
As you approach, the elderly woman turns and stares at you. They look like who's come a-calling on Siri today. Death's dearest son. She looks you up and down and then shakes her head in disbelief. By every power in its mother, boy, what crypt did you crawl out of? I didn't crawl out of any crypt. She frowns, her face wrinkled like crumpled parchment. Right, then, what coffin did you crawl out of? She mumbles. One of those shoddy, spent coffins at Hamry's, most like. Gives corpse splinters, I hear. She sniffs. The boy's not been worth a clipped copper since his father's dead. Who is Hamry's? Hamry's is a coffin maker in the lower ward. Inherited the shop where his father died, much to the shame of every corpse needing a coffin, crypt, or tombstone and sigil. What happened to his father? Those ears just for show, boy. He died, she mumbles. His son talked him to death, most likely. The boy's tongue doesn't stop rattling. I'm surprised he doesn't shake his head loose from his shoulders. You two sound like you have a lot in common, then. She narrows her eyes. Do us both a favor and latch that bone box of yours, boy. Don't be drawing comments between me and the yapping whelp. Very well, I had some other questions. Are you a dustman? A dustman, I suppose. I've seen enough sand pass through the hourglass while wearing these robes. This body's almost ready to pay the ferryman. She chuckles, but there's not much mirth to it. Are you afraid of dying? Of course I am, boy. Who isn't? She frowns and glances around. Well, except dustmen. They're not afraid because they've been swallowing so much of their own bad droppings over the decades. They've blended themselves into thinking that death is some kind of release. Tch. It is a release of sort. If you think that this life is a burden, boy, then perhaps I'm not convinced of that. So what sparked this crisis of faith? Life, I suppose. Never you mind. I won't bore you with the nagging details. I'd like to know, actually. Oh, would you? How old you take me for, boy? Not too old. She starts. Well, you're wrong. I'm really old. Now I've spent most of my long years teaching dustmen. I've seen many dustmen and whelps grow within our order, taught them the ways of the faction, kept the faith, preached the tenets of the faction. She frowns. And so on and so on. No question, no doubt. This life was merely an antechamber that led to the true death. What happened? Well, a half-month back, I went sick with the fever. She sighs. I thought it was the end. It rattled my cage. How? Her face becomes as stone. There's something about having your faction members circle around your deathbed like a pack of pale-faced ghouls, nodding and agreeing that your suffering and dying is all for the best. Oh, Siri is so fortunate. She shall soon be relieved of the burden of life. Burden of life, that's what it struck me. That there's something. A queer expression comes over her features, addled about not approaching your life. The dustman keeps saying that life is misery and suffering. It is. Suffering. Is it? That we should be happy to pass on into oblivion, should we? She shakes her head. Questions, and precious few answers. It doesn't sound like you believe in the dustman philosophy anymore. I suppose I have got a swarm of doubts all buzzing in my skull. She rubs her temples. Hard to get them all to be quiet sometimes. They need to be fed some answers, and I haven't got them all worked out yet. What will you do? To be square, boy, I don't know. That's the problem with doubt. I can't even trust that what I'm feeling is true, or if I'm scared of death only because of my brush with the fever, or even what I should do. Is this a passing thing? I don't know. Siri, if you had truly believed in the Desmond philosophy, then your brush with the fever would not have left you with such doubts. She stares at you, then nods slowly. Maybe so, maybe so. She frowns, her face wrinkling up in concentration. I'll have to chew on it for some time. You should, it's no small matter. Well now, enough of me rattling about my woes. Siri stares at your scars. You look like you've shared a few handshakes with death yourself. Hasn't that changed your view somewhat? Doesn't it make you appreciate life a bit more? Well, my brushes with death are a lot closer than those of other people. I can't seem to die, at least as far as I know. You're rattling my coffin. It's true. Strange are the ways of the plains, and I've seen too much to throw any tale out with the wash. She studies your face. If it's true, why does this happen? I don't know. She seems to think for a moment and then shrugs. Makes two of us, then. Most peculiar. Never heard of anything like that. Shame about the memories. Do you have any idea why this happens? Nay, not a one. Never knew anyone who death wouldn't take until now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll end this episode here. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Planescape Torment. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And as always, we'll see you all in the next one.